cover of darkness, people emerging from a vehicle after it pulls up to a gas station in Plattsburgh, a city in Clinton County, New York. It's located more than 300 miles from New York City and less than 30 miles from the Canadian border.
Hi, sir. Where are you coming from? I'm a journalist. Where are you coming from? You came from Canada?
My questions met with silence.
Tell us where you're coming from.
Reluctance.
Ma'am, where are you coming from? Can you tell me?
And refusal.
No. No, you don't want to talk?
They start walking away, and we follow them.
Sir, can we talk to you? Can you tell me where you're coming from? I'm a journalist. We're doing a story on people crossing the border.
We are coming from India.
Can you show me the documents?
No, ma'am.
The letterhead identifies the document at a glance. It's from the federal government, the kind of document given to asylum seekers.
What did they say to you?
After crossing the border illegally.
At the border, what did they say?
Nothing.
You crossed the border, the Canadian border?
Yes.
How long did it take to walk across the border?
Ma'am, this is the main person is this.
Okay, one more question. Are you going to New York City?
Yeah.
And that's how we finally confirmed where at least one of them is going. The gas station is called Mountain Mart. It's also a bus stop here in upstate New York, and we've confirmed well known around here as a meeting place for migrants after crossing the northern border. About 20 miles from here and closer to Canada, the town of Champlain, where town supervisor Thomas Tremblay regularly deals with complaints from people about migrants on their property.
To me, it's like a back door.
A back door into the United States, he says. While our eyes look at the flow of people crossing the southern border, here locals will tell you an alternate route into the U.S. through Canada is becoming more popular for people who are desperate to get into the country.
We've seen 4, 6, or 8 individuals walking down one of our town roads or village streets.
It's a regular thing.
It's become a regular thing, yes.
I got them on my cameras all the time, going through the woods.
These images from Joe Ashland's deer camera.
They're not shy, they just walk down the street.
He says migrants end up around his home all the time.
You gotta lock everything. Years ago, you never locked any doors around here, but now you do.
Have you ever had to place a call to Border Patrol?
Oh, plenty of times.
People around here tell us placing calls to Border Patrol is a regular thing.
Across the road from my house, they come over the hill. Canada is only a 10-minute walk.
Alan Racine lives right by the northern border.
There was a family. There was 5 of them. There was a husband and wife, a teenager, and 2 little ones. And I talked to them. I couldn't understand the word they said. So I asked them if they needed a bottle of water. It was really hot out. I said, need water or something? And all I seen was a little girl go like this.
Yeah.
She was hungry.
He works in the town of Champlain as a highway superintendent
Water's right over here.
and took us on a drive.
And walk right across.
We went through a cemetery where he says you can often find evidence of people moving through.
Normally when you come down here, sometimes you'll see clothes right on here on the cement here. They change their clothes here.
Stretching more than 5,500 miles long, the northern border is the longest land border in the world, more than twice as long as the southern border. Here, there are no walls, fences, or major barriers. There is a lot of open land.
Walking through grass and surrounded by tall trees, there are many places for migrants to hide, and that's how many of them are navigating the northern border undetected.
In a statement to Fox 5 News, a spokesperson for U.S. Customs and Border Protection said, "We have seen an increase by USBP in apprehensions of individuals unlawfully crossing the northern border. We looked at the data and found a sharp increase in the number of encounters Border Patrol is having with people illegally crossing from Canada. This fiscal year so far, as of June, 16,459 and counting. The number already exceeding last fiscal year with a total of 10,021 encounters. In 2022, Border Patrol agents apprehended just over 2,000 people crossing the northern border illegally, and in 2021, the number was only 916. And while the numbers of those crossing from the north illegally pale in comparison to what's happening at the southern border, with Border Patrol coming into contact with more than 1 million crossing illegally this fiscal year so far, and more than 2 million on record last year and the year before, we've learned there is deep concern about the influx.
The numbers are surging because it is easy.
Around here, law enforcement regularly assists Border Patrol.
With the border as it is, the Border Patrol is just flat out understaffed on the northern border. They have long stretches of border that they just don't have enough people to cover.
Major Nicholas Leon is a chief deputy with the Clinton County Sheriff's Office.
There's been a large influx of people, and probably through, organized crime it's making money off it and funneling these people through this particular area, because out of the entire northern border, it's the easiest through metropolitan areas in Canada where they can fly into, and it's easiest to cross the border with a huge pipeline directly down to New York City.
You find a lot of them are headed to New York City?
Yes, yeah.
We've learned there is coordination between U.S. and Canadian officials. The Royal Canadian Mounted Police confirming to Fox 5 News human smugglers are selling the journey south to migrants.
We know that there are human smuggling operations going on. We have active investigations on the matter. We've also arrested and charged a few smugglers recently. But the reality is that just by the sheer volume of migrants, this is a highly sophisticated operation that we're talking about.
The pattern all too familiar. The federal government has long documented human smugglers working at the southern border, exploiting migrants who are willing to do almost anything to get to America. U.S. Customs and Border Protection on record with information like this. Transnational criminal organizations pose significant dangers to migrants as they not only seek to profit from their exploitation, but also have little regard for their well-being, exposing them to violent encounters, injury, and death. Here in upstate New York, the dangers of crossing the border are apparent.
The terrain's pretty rugged. It's cedar, it's thick, it's swampy, and they got to go through that.
I personally have worked on an investigation of a migrant coming through in the winter. She ended up getting in a high water area, ended up drowning.
But not enough to deter the growing flow of migrants who are after that American dream.
They just want to go to New York City.
For many, New York City is where they believe they'll find it, regardless of the risk and the price.
How are you feeling right now?
I don't know.
Are you happy?
Yeah, happy.
You're happy?
Stephanie Bertini, Fox 5 News.